a fight that we do not need to spend a lot of time talking about. We got Marina Rodriguez taking on Michelle Waterson-Gomez. And let's not belabor the point here. I think the UFC put this together because they would like to see Marina Rodriguez get back in the win column. Marina Rodriguez is really struggling right now in the UFC. She lost to Verna Jandiroba her last time out, and she also got knocked out by Amanda Lemos. And I was able to cash in those spots. I thought that those were good opportunities to fade her. In the one case, you have Verna Jandiroba, a very high-level grappler and wrestler who was going against somebody who's just not high level in those positions. So I felt like that was good upside for Verna Jandiroba to get off on her game, her primary game, her A skill set, let's say. You look at the other fight, Amanda Lemos. I just thought that Amanda was not being given enough credit for how competitive she would be with Marina on the feet. I felt like Marina, people were thinking, oh, it's just a runaway for Marina on the feet. And I knew that Amanda Lemos had power. I knew that she could knock people out. And here's the other thing. If anybody was to win that fight by submission, I felt like Amanda Lemos was going to submit Marina Rodriguez because she's the more dangerous wrestler. She's more powerful physically, and she can move this girl around. So Marina Rodriguez, what has she shown that's good on the mat? Positional awareness. She's very difficult to submit. You look at the names that she's gone against that haven't been able to submit her. Mackenzie Dern, Amanda Hebas, Verna Jandiroba, Carla Esparza, Cynthia Calvillo, Tisha Torres, right? Obviously, we're getting a little bit worse as we go down here. But when we're talking about just Marina Rodriguez not being easy to get one over on the mat, I think that's fair. She's already won this fight, right? That's the other thing. That's the elephant in the room. Back in 2021, these two women fought, unanimous decision win for Marina Rodriguez. So how could you make a case for Michelle Waterson here? I think the case for Michelle Waterson is that, number one, both these women are old. So, it's not like one of them's got a huge youth advantage, right? Both these women are old. But I think the more wear on the tires is definitely on the Waterson-Gomez side. So I think if she was to win this fight, her two paths are either to hop on this girl's back and look for a sub, or to fight her to a really greasy decision where she goes for some takedowns, where she mixes it up in the clinch. Because if this just plays out at striking range, we know that Michelle Waterson's striking is probably not UFC level. And that's no disrespect, but it's just been kind of borne out over time. She doesn't win many striking-based fights in the UFC. Most of the time against other strikers, she's resorting to takedown attempts that are failing. So I just don't really see what she's doing to improve her game at a high level anymore. And she did lose her last series of fights, including to some lower level fighters in the division. Luana Pinheiro, she also got finished by Amanda Lemos. That was via guillotine choke. Marina Rodriguez was the third loss. So basically, her last three fights, she's lost them all. And now she's getting back in there with a girl that just beat her in 2021. So I don't want to be too reductive with my analysis here, but I just feel like this is a fight where I don't really trust Marina Rodriguez at significant chalk prices just as a rule. But I also feel like this is a very winnable fight for her, and the UFC is probably trying to get her back on track. But she's been looking a little bit, dispirited in her last couple fights. She is old for the division. She wanted to get that title shot. She didn't get it. And now she's lost two in a row. Long road back, and maybe her motivation just won't be there anymore. So for me, this is probably just a stay away fight. But if Marina Rodriguez doesn't win and finish this fight, she should probably just ask herself some hard questions about what her goals are in MMA. Fight Pick Pro says, sup, Liam. Love the picks, bud. Pro fighter here. Wish you do the local shows that Bet Online gives action on. Cheers to you, my brother. Take a sip to that. And, I haven't done much of that. And the reason being is the audience is pretty limited. It's only the MMA hardcores that would really get down. But I will tell you what, if I get my workflow for the UFC and the Contender Series and everything down to a science, I'd be happy to start breaking down a couple more fights, from the regional scene, especially New York guys, local people from the fight scene in the Northeast. I think that would be cool to try and ingratiate myself a little bit more with the community, familiarize myself a little bit more as well with all the fighters in the local area. I think that'd be awesome. So shout out to that. Adam says fight goes to decision. I don't hate that shot. Cashville Rican says, you got a fight this weekend or are you cornering? Neither, my brother. This is a rare vacation for the kids. So out here to enjoy myself a little bit, have some time, with the family, spend a little time, but also, the work never stops. So with that being said, let's keep it rolling on this